It's amazing.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah, Elle, do you have hosting privileges? Can you let people in as it happens?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Gutmans. Arthur Gutman, happy birthday. I didn't get to say it in person to you. Woot woot. Hey, Kim Worker, David Schwartz, Dougie, Elfam, Opens. Shabbat Shalom, Menashes.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, well, Shavua Tov, I guess.
Well, not quite yet. We haven't said the blessings yet. So it's
Hello.
okay.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
For us, it's good. It's nice to see all your yummy faces.
In our Hanukkah pajamas.
How's it going with you? Well, Hanukkah pajamas should last all year now.
I know, right?
They do in my house.
Good.
They're
Good.
Skylar's favorites. Yeah,
Just
everyone's.
chill.
Yeah, good.
We just came back from Bubby's.
Nice. What a blessing. You see
Yeah.
Sidel.
Saying hi, Jacob? Yeah.
Hello, Murphys. I know you're not on video, but.
Hey, hi, Kyla.
Jacob, you're my bunch bag.
Oh, no. Yeah, Elle, thank you for all the reminders.
I know, she's so amazing, right?
It's amazing because I have the best intention and then it's always at a time when
Hi.
Luckily, it's easy for us to be like, oh, just a quick reminder, and then you can pop right on. So it's
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. And then you're like,
Thank
oh, right,
goodness.
of course. Wait, hang on. Cancel.
Hey, Dina.
Oh. And Dada.
Tony Kennedy. Nice to see your name.
Where?
Where'd you say, Chica?
Beautiful face.
I can't see you.
I can't see you either. Come, Jacob.
I can't see you. I can't come. I'm frozen.
Hi, Karen.
I'm frozen, guys.
You're frozen.
You're frozen on the stairs?
Get off of Ella's bunk bag.
Where are the? Oh, they're there.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'm gonna mute us.
Nice to see you. Shabbat Shalom. And Zachy. And
Hi, Lewis. Hi, Dina.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's good to see everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight.
So many beautiful faces.
Yeah, lots of beautiful faces and smiling faces. Well, it's as people join us, it's great to be together on this Shabbat. It was wonderful to be in synagogue this morning. If you didn't get a chance to join us remotely, I'm looking at the faces. I know you weren't there in person because there were 4 or 5 people. Well, Lewis was there. But it was a lovely service. Cantor Cohen did a sermon and song where she both spoke and sang during her sermon. The Shabbat Shirah, Lewis chanted so beautifully. Seema talked about the Haftorah portion in a beautiful way and read it. And then Cantor Cohen really topped it off with just an absolutely beautiful sermon. So if you missed it, please go to our YouTube page and listen later. It was really wonderful. And of course, many of us have been dealing with the news that's coming out of Texas today. And we just continue to hold that community in our thoughts and prayers. There's a lot of kids on this video call, so we're not going to go into detail with it. But just to say that I know the rabbi who is there. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy, kind and gentle. And as I wrote for the Federation on social media, I'm sure that he is a comfort to his congregation and a calm and anxious presence, non-anxious presence in the midst of all of this. And we pray that it gets resolved safely and soon. And with that, we come to Havdalah on this not rainy, and actually was kind of a nice day. Who got outside today? Anybody? Got to take those opportunities when we can. Remember last Shabbos or the one before that, it was snowing. So not that you can't go out in the snow, but this was really nice. We walked the dog and got to get some fresh air. It was really lovely. Anybody go down and see the barge that's still down at the beach? There's that great song that somebody just put out recently about it, the ode to the barge at the beach. It's quite fun.
You want to sing it?
No, but the lyrics are fantastic. With apologies to Gordon Lightfoot, I'm told. So let's start with some music from Annette, and then we'll do a story, and then we'll do Havdalah, and then we'll have bedtime.
Fantastic. All right. We're going to do a song called Havdalah. That's our intro song. And we'll repeat all the parts. There's only 2 parts, so please sing along. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Let's do that again. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Now part 2. Shavua, Shavua tov. Shavua, Shavua tov. Shavua, Shavua tov. Shavua, Shavua tov. From the beginning. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Shavua, Shavua tov. Shavua, Shavua tov. Shavua, Shavua tov. Shavua, Shavua tov. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol. Hamavdil, Hamavdil ben Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh lechol.
Oh, Annette, that was wonderful. That was terrific. Thank you so much for that. Wow. So we are on this, as we were saying just at the beginning, we were wishing each other Shabbat Shalom, and some of us were wishing us Shavua Tov because we haven't really ended Shabbat yet, so it's still Shabbat. And we start to look ahead to the week ahead, and it's a special week because on Monday, is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday, I think, is Tu B'Shvat. the New Year for Trees, Jewish Arbor Day, if you would. So I have two short stories for tonight. And really, when a rabbi says short stories, I don't mean a long sermon, but really short stories. Two stories, one about the Parsha from this week that we just read and sang in synagogue about the parting of the Sea of Reeds, and another about the planting of trees for Tu B'Shvat. So the first story, and they might both be well familiar to you, but they're two of my favorites. And if you haven't heard them yet, then they're new to you. The first story is about that moment when the seas were about to be parted, and Moses and all the Israelites had left Egypt, and they're standing at the shores of the Sea of Reeds, and the Egyptian army and all of their chariots is chasing after the Jews as they've left Egypt, and they've left the 10 plagues behind, and they've left Pharaoh behind, and all of the suffering that was there. But then, of course, Pharaoh changes his mind and sends his army and his chariots chasing after the Israelites, and they are trying to get to freedom, and what stands in their way is the Sea of Reeds, or as I mentioned this morning in synagogue, when I was in Sunday school, they told us it was the Red Sea, but we know now it was the Sea of Reeds. Anyway, there was a body of water in front of them, and there was no way to get over it. It's like that story or that song. You couldn't go over it, you couldn't go under it, you couldn't go around it, you had to go through it. But it was water, and they couldn't all swim across an ocean, across a sea. And so Moses stood up and held up his staff and held up his arms to part the waters of the sea. And the waters begin to part, and he says, everybody, get into the pool. Everybody come in. And nobody moves. And Moses says, come on, they're chasing us. We got to go in. And nobody moves except for one person. And his name was Nachshon. And he was a teenager, maybe, they say. And Nachshon was very, very brave. And he stood to the front of the line, and he walked into the water. And he walked into the water, all the way to the water came right up to his mouth. And the water had gone down, but it hadn't gone all the way down. And then he kept walking till the water got right up to underneath his nose. And he was talking like this with mother in his mouth, over his mouth. And he said, Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, God, in all the world? And the water went down a little bit so he could actually pronounce the letter Chaf, that's the one that looks like the C with the dot in it, so he could actually pronounce the letter Chaf or Kaf correctly. And then he said it the right way, Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, God, in all the world. And the waters continued to recede. And they continued to go down, and then Nachshon led the Israelites. It wasn't Moses. Moses stood there with his staff, but it was this teenage boy who led the Israelites through the parted seas. And do you know who followed after him? 600,000 people. 600,000 Jews followed after Nachshon. They walked in the mud and the muck. And for many of them, it was a miracle. And they saw walls of water on their sides, and they saw fish and dolphins and all sorts of things. But for some of them, they only looked down in the mud, and all they saw was the mud and the muck, and they couldn't appreciate the miracle that was happening because they were schlepping through all this muddy ground, and they didn't appreciate what was happening around them. And we learned from that, not only of Nachshon's bravery, but also we learned that if you're in the middle of a miracle, if you're in the middle of a wonderful experience, don't focus on the mud and the muck and all the things. Look up, raise your eyes up and see the potential, see the possibility, see the hope that is on the other shore. And sure enough, they got there. And as we learned today in synagogue also from Sima and from Cantor Cohen, Miriam and all the women danced and sang and celebrated that moment of redemption. And it was because of Nachshon and because of Miriam and all of the 600,000 Jews that followed after that we are celebrating this day and celebrating every year at Passover, the redemption of the Jewish people. So that's story number one. How about story number two? Okay? Yes? Maybe no? Okay. This story is about a man named Honi. Honi was known as the circle maker. Honi used to make circles. That was a big deal back then. You couldn't just print out a circle on your iPad or something. So Honi made circles. Very useful and very helpful. Yes, I saw the news as well, Karen. Yes. And one day, Honi, who was a fairly young guy, was walking along the street, and he saw an old man by the side of the road on a very hot day planting a carob tree. Has anybody ever had carob? When I was a kid, I was allergic to milk. And so I was allergic to chocolate. And so my parents gave me carob instead of chocolate. And they said, oh, it tastes just like chocolate. And then when I got older, I wasn't allergic to milk anymore, and my parents lied to me. Carob does not taste anything like chocolate. Chocolate tastes good. Carob, not so much. But, what are you going to do? Anyhow, Honi was planting a carob tree. Sorry, this older man was planting a carob tree, and Honi comes up to him and says, old man, it's hot as blazes out here. You've got to be yourself 70, 80 years old. You're never going to live to see this carob tree grow and bear fruit. It takes 70 years for a carob tree to bear fruit. You're not going to live that long. And the man says to Honi, when I got here, there were already carob trees. So somebody must have planted them before me, and I've been eating the fruit of those carob trees my whole life. And so I'm planting these trees so that my great-grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, Honi, will have carob trees to eat the fruit of. And sure enough, that's what happened. Now, there's another part to the story, but I'm not going to go into that because it's a little depressing. But sure enough, that's what happened. And later on, Honi's grandchildren, and even Honi himself, which is part of the rest of the story, eat from the fruit of that very tree that the man planted. The reason we have apple trees, the reasons we have fruit to eat today is because somebody planted for us long before we were ever even born, maybe even imagined our parents were born. And so on Tu B'Shvat, we celebrate the gift, the wonderful gift that are trees and the gift that trees give to us and how they help take care of our world. And we need to take care of our world with them. Those are my two stories for Tu B'Shvat and for Shabbat B'Shalach, Shabbat Shira. There we go.
Good stories.
Thanks, Annette. So we're going to do blessings now, right?
Nice. Yeah, we'll do blessings now and then we'll close with a song.
Okay, so I'm going to spotlight me and I'm going to spotlight you. And there we are together. I've got my Havdalah candle.
Good.
And my Kiddush cup.
Amazing.
And my bisamim, my cloves. You smell those?
I can.
You need smell-o-vision. And don't try this at home.
Handy dandy.
My lighter. Okay. I'm ready when you are. You sing, I'll do the stuff.
Good job.
If you have it at home, take out your own Havdalah stuff.
Baruch ya la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la.
Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chachol, hatotenu yimchol, zarenu b'chaspenu yarbechachol, v'chochavim v'layla. Listen for the sizzle.
Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Limhera Veyamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
Okay, I have a song for us now. A proper
Okay.
closing song. So, hang on. Okay, for this song, we have actions. You know, I always find that there's not enough time to really sing the best song of the year, which is the Tu B'Shvat song, Debbie Friedman's song, Let's Plant a Tree. So, let's go over the actions because you need to know the actions first. It's very participatory. So, the actions go like this. First, we're going to dig a hole. So, get your shovels out. Let's dig a hole. Yes? Yeah. Good job. And then we're going to plant a seed. You're just going to drop it in. Bloop. Yes. And then we're going to water it. Let me see you water it. Oh, good job. Nice job. And then the next action is the sprout. Can I see your little sprout? Yeah. Good job. And then, well, I'll go in order. And then we're trees. We're trees that are blowing in the wind. And then we show our leaves. Can I see your finger leaves? Yes, very nice. And then we're big trees because we've all grown up. And then the last action is our big thumbs pointing at ourselves. We're going to be like, hey, look at me. Okay, you ready? All right. Okay. So get your shovels ready. We're going to dig a hole. Let's dig a hole. Let's dig a hole and plant a seed. Bloop. Let's water it. Oh, let's water it because it is Tu B'Shvat. You ready? Let's see those sprouts. Look, there's a sprout. Look, there's a sprout. It's growing now. Let's water it. Oh, let's water it because it is Tu B'Shvat. Okay, get your trees ready. We're going to blow in the wind. You ready? Trees are blowing in the wind. They're blowing. Trees are blowing in the wind. Whoosh. Trees are blowing in the wind. They're blowing. Trees are blowing in the wind. No whoosh. Oh, let's look at the leaves. Look at the leaves. Look at the leaves, they're growing now. Let's water them, oh let's water them because it is Tu B'Shvat. Okay, now we're gonna be trees. Look at the tree. Look at the tree, it's growing now. Let's water it, oh let's water it because it is Tu B'Shvat. Okay, we're gonna blow in the wind. Trees are blowing in the wind, they're blowing. Trees are blowing in the wind. Whoosh. Trees are blowing in the wind, they're blowing. Trees are blowing in the wind, no whoosh.
And then, big thumbs, just look at me. Just look at me, I'm bigger now. Don't water me, no, don't water me, because it is too bishvat. Don't water me, no, don't water me, because it is too bishvat.
Oh, Annette, that was fantastic. That was great. That was great. Well, everybody, that the Shabbos is over, but that doesn't mean we can't start looking forward to the next one. And for some of us, there's a Pro D Day on Monday, and for others, it's even a late start. So there's that. And we have hopefully lots of good things that will come in the week ahead. Hopefully the weather will be good, the COVID will be down, the spirits will be up, and it'll be a lovely week. So have a wonderful evening. Give your parents and your grandparents real or virtual hugs and kisses. And it's so great to be joined with all of you. Trying to think if there's any really important announcements to make. I think there's stuff going on at the synagogue, and it's all on the website. There's a seniors lunch and concert that's virtual on Tuesday, I think it is. And the men's club has a program coming up. There's a history of Zionism class, I think, on Wednesday. This is all from memory. So lots of fun things happening. And remember, no religious school tomorrow. We're going to wait another couple of weeks till things continue to calm down. And then we'll come back for religious school, Temple Sholom School. Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Oh.
Nice to see your faces.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Annette and Ramadan.
You're welcome.